Welcome to Cold Front Convos, number 18. Had a little bit of a break. Back to you now after almost a month. I think about a month. And coming off of the Super Bowl, we're now into, the beginning of free agency, essentially, right? So, handful of moves by our favorite Buffalo Bills. We had the draft class from a few years ago. This is what, their fourth year now in the league.
Yeah.
This will be Rousseau's. Yep. Okay, so he ends up re-signing Rousseau, re-signing Terrell Bernard, and Reed Ferguson. Let's not forget Reed Ferguson, longest tenured Bill. Shout out Alex on that. And Khalil Shakir. So 3 of the big 5 out of that. I mean, that draft class has been all studs, really. So Benford, they said they're still working on a deal, haven't disclosed it, and no progress on Cook yet, as far as we know. Right?
Yep. Yeah. And of course, Josh Allen signed through 2030. Or
there you go too. Yeah.
And Allen, yeah.
Yeah, year, new contract, $250 million guaranteed money. The most guaranteed to any player, which is great for Josh and actually great for the team, because by the time he would have re-signed, it would have been a Mahomes size contract for 6 years instead.
Probably more, because they probably would have been 2 more years have gone by. So probably more.
And also Mahomes, actually his annual average value is actually less than, some like Dak Prescott or something like that. It would have been like a Dak Prescott side and like annual value number, like
right.
Yeah. Well, and to add to those free agencies, you got Ryan Vandermark was signed to a 1-year contract. Right guard Alex Anderson for a 1-year contract. Zach Davidson, tight end, 2-year contract. Josh Palmer, which was the big one, on a 3-year deal, and then the defensive lineman Michael. I don't know how to say his last name.
It's like Hecht.
Hecht.
Yeah.
Hecht.
Jochen Hecht.
Michael Hecht. Michael Hecht. 3-year contract. That was just not too long ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've addressed some needs. They went out and got a receiver that supposedly, and I read the group chat, obviously, supposedly can separate, which was their big deal this year. They went and got another defensive lineman to kind of shore up. We probably don't re-sign Phillips next year, I would assume. Yep. So plug and play there. Don't love losing Mac Hollins, though, given
what he did for the team.
The team camaraderie,
special teams.
Yeah, special teams, big plays.
Constantly.
Yep. And especially to go to the Pats, who actually were having a very good offseason. I mean, they obviously had the most money to spend going into free agency. But Buffalo cutting ties with Von Miller, $17.5 million save, but possibly,
you wonder if he'll get brought back for minimal money. I mean, he's not going to make that much money anywhere at this point in his career.
I was wondering if he'd end up going back to the Broncos.
Could. They're a playoff team.
They just signed Fungo or whatever his name is from the Niners.
Yep.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. He'll get tagged on somewhere, some contender, Kansas City. He'll get scooped up somewhere for like $10 million 1 year.
Philadelphia maybe, because they just lost 2 of their defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just lost Sweat.
And they lost Darius Slay actually too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But that's the right. Super Bowl thing, right? Your team wins Super Bowl, you're on a contract year, you go make some money somewhere else. So maybe they have room to sign Von for $10 million, but I could see him on like one of those divisions that's like NFC West, AFC South, one of those divisions where anybody has a shot, like have him sign with the Colts or something like that, where he has a chance to be one of the better players on a mediocre team for some decent money. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll end up if he doesn't sign it somewhere. If he doesn't contemplate retirement, I mean, he'll end up in the front office somewhere someday.
Yeah, they said he's
Yeah.
been like apprenticing under Bean when he was hurt for the most part. So who knows? Good luck to him. I didn't have an issue with the guy. I mean, he did beat up his wife or something at some point, though. That's why he served.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, he was on the run for a little while there.
I
They
think he
didn't know where he
choked
was. Yeah,
So him and Xavier Worthy
Hey,
went to the
Worthy.
same training camp.
All charges were dropped.
They dropped
against
the
him.
charges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always do. Then they settle
Yeah.
settle somewhere.
It must have been like his girlfriend or something that was living there.
Yeah, she was. It was, and she cheated on him, I guess. So,
Yeah.
With Stephon Diggs.
probably.
No, I'm just saying.
who he still hasn't signed anywhere. I know that Houston offered him a contract, a team friendly contract, they said, but it's surprising. He's still out there. He'll probably end up signing a 1-year deal with the
Cooper
Chiefs
Kupp.
or something.
Yeah, he was going to the
Cooper
Kansas
Kupp's gonna
City.
get released. Thought Cooper Kupp's getting released, probably. I mean, it's not official, but there's plans to release him.
Weren't they just
Devontae
asking for like
Adams
a fifth rounder or something?
Yeah, they're hoping for something before they just release him, but
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to.
Everyone was just probably like, well, they're going to release him anyway, so they might as well. Why would we trade him something? You know, Adams just signed with the Rams. I mean, once that happened, nobody was trading for Kupp because it's like, well, they're going to release him.
I'd love to pick up Cooper Kupp. Not to say I don't care what he costs, but I'd love to. He can still separate at 31. He can still, and he can run the whole route tree. You know, he's an older version of Shakir at this point, and Shakir's coming up hopefully to be where Kupp was, not when he won the Triple Crown, obviously, but you know, I think Shakir has a high end potential wise.
I think they're still going to draft speed, speed receiver.
Hopefully, Brady can integrate it better than Dorsey did when we had
this. I will say this wide receiver draft is not very good. It's probably the worst drafts like in the last couple of years for receivers. It's not good at all. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Well, then
there's a few fast ones out there. Ran
get another corner
4-4
or safety
or 4.
Yeah, but Bean talks about wanting fast guys.
DBs are good.
Sorry, go ahead, Goose.
You're all right. I was just saying the corners and DBs in this draft are pretty decent. But
yeah, no, I was just saying, like Bean always talks about wanting like these fast guys, but he never ends up drafting anybody for it. I mean, he had a shot at Worthy, but he didn't want to take it. So, do we actually want speed, or do we just want people that you can plug and play all over the place?
Well my take on. Go ahead, Mitch.
That's what that defensive end is on defense that they just signed from the Rams. He plays linebacker, inside, outside, yep, and D end and D tackle.
My thing with the at least on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think it was a swing and a miss on Coleman. And Kincaid, we talked about previously, was really good his rookie year. Not great this year. But both were hurt a bunch this year too. I mean, and then Cooper gets hurt. What, week 2? Something like that. He hurt his wrist, and then so we between the three guys, they missed 15 games, cumulatively or whatever. But I figure they're trying to get a real number one in Cooper, who demands double coverage. That gives Coleman the next, in a perfect world, the next best corner. He's supposed to be able to out-jump everybody or out-physical everybody. He's still immature in his body, right? But you got that. Shakir should be able to beat any slot corner or linebacker or safety inside. And then that'll also, same thing with Kincaid. He's supposed to be able to beat any corner or linebacker that's on him. So theoretically, it looks good if Coleman's mature, if Cooper's healthy, and then you obviously got running backs, Cook and Ty Johnson out of the backfield, who can both catch the ball and be a threat. I mean, Josh should have been able to throw for 4,500 yards and 35 TDs this year if everyone's healthy and doing what they should do. But so many miscues by Kincaid this year. He had a very down year. Coleman underperformed, made some good plays, but underperformed consistently.
And since his injury, he's a different person.
Same thing with Cooper. Cooper gets hurt. You find out after the season that they told him he should have surgery on his wrist, and he didn't. So then I'm sure Allen, to an extent, is protecting him by not giving him the ball a bunch, especially if he doesn't feel like he can go. But having him on the field versus having, Coleman be the one or Shakir or Samuel be the one, he didn't do shit. I feel like we had a lot of the right pieces, just didn't tie together the way it should have.
Yeah, and then you got to factor in Allen's throwing to those guys with, a broken hand. Well, non-throwing hand, and then he broke his hand again in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, he broke his hand in the first half against the Chiefs. Which is crazy.
And Amari Cooper right now is, he's a free agent too, right? I mean, he's on the roster at this point. So
I'd like to see them bring, if you're not going to get Kupp, I'd like to see them bring back Cooper. I think him healthy.
Well, maybe that's why he hasn't signed yet. Maybe they'll see what happens with Cooper.
Maybe I'd like to see them bring him back. He knows the offense
Kupp,
now.
Yeah.
So,
he's a great wide receiver.
Keep going, Alex.
It's stuck.
No, that's go ahead, Goose.
We're talking over each other.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think they need a big physical receiver. Like, they don't. If you bring Kupp in, then you also, not that Kupp's not good or anything, but you have another guy like Shakir already, and then you've got guys that already do that. You're kind of getting into that same predicament they were a couple years ago, where they had the same type of receiver. They had McKenzie and they had a few other guys.
I think Coleman gives you the different body type. He can't run the routes that the other guys run. To be honest, if they do bring in Kupp, they're built more like the Chiefs from 2 years ago than they are the Bills from a couple years ago.
With Tony and
Tony sucked, right? But
he was clutch when he needed to be.
Tony,
most part in the playoffs.
Paul Hardman.
Yeah.
You don't. Kincaid's not Kelsey, but you want him to be in terms of those matchups. Who was the guy that used to beat the shit out of the Bills? Tall receiver, 3 years ago.
The Chiefs?
God, it's gonna haunt me.
With the Chiefs?
From the Chiefs. I can't think of his name now. He was like their third or fourth receiver. It was behind. Behind Hill. I'm going back to when Hill was there.
Hardman was there.
Yeah, Hardman was there, but it's not who I'm thinking of. I'll have to look it up later. Doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, I don't disagree, Goose, that they got a bunch of guys who can get shifty as opposed to guys who can stretch the field. But your hope is that Coleman's your stretcher. Not that he's super fast, but you got to.
I don't think that's what his play is, though, is being like a stretcher. I don't think that's what, because they tried to use him.
I thought he would be like against the sidelines, making the catch over somebody. Like that was his strategy.
Was that even why they drafted him though for that? I didn't think like he did that in college much. I could be wrong.
I just think he out-physicaled guys.
Yeah.
So
I think he's bigger than anybody we've had before. So he's able to like jump up and get the ball.
Yeah, he's got a great vertical.
Remembers James Hardy?
Oh,
do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be that guy. I think, did he die?
No.
I think he might have.
Was he doing punt returns? He was doing punt returns there for a little bit. So let's talk about defense though. Like, all right, where are they going on defense, like for free agents? Because I know they just obviously signed the.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes to fill in the back.
But they need a lot more help, like edgewise and stuff like that. Even with bringing in Rousseau, Epinesa is good when he wants to be, but he's not consistent enough, I think, especially in games away, like away from Buffalo, because he's good in Buffalo, but once he leaves, so as far as free agents that are available, Matt Judon, top ones, Chase Young, Bosa, which I don't really want to see, Zadarius Smith, former Giant Azeez Ojulari, which is solid. However, he's hurt all the time. Then defensive line, I mean, Jonathan Allen and should definitely be somebody they target that was with the Commanders. And then Calais Campbell, another guy they should definitely be talking to. But it's just, I don't know if they are or not, but they need some more help on D line, I think. They need to be better up front against the run than they were last year.
And it's not even just the D line. I mean, now you're talking gaps at not gaps, but I mean, you got to talk about Benford. You got to talk about Hamlin's gone. You got the safety hole.
And
I mean, you got
Bishop
Bishop,
Douglas.
And then
Douglas. Yeah,
one guy just signed or whatever corner, like what, 35 million a year or some crazy number. What was that guy's name? He just signed today. It's like it could affect Benford's contract because of the
Benford's
amount.
going to get paid.
He has to.
I mean, he's the first lockdown we've had since
Trey White a couple years ago.
Ray, when he was, before he tore the knee and the Achilles up. And then before him, probably Gilmore. I don't remember us having a real lockdown for a long time.
I remember it as a
possibility. Oh, God.
No, I was going to say, like, with our safeties, though, I'm not, like, too concerned. I feel like, I don't think DeMar Hamlin's coming back. I think he's probably going to leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think if we're able to lock down, have some, like, we do have Benford there, and we have, we're able to find somebody to take the other side, I think we'll be all right. Safety-wise, I don't think it's really a big concern. I think we'll be able to do fine with what we have.
We need depth.
Bishop, but...
Yeah.
Bishop and Rapp.
Rapp is
especially since they get hurt. Because they get hurt all the time. But I mean, there are some solid safeties out there like that are available. I mean, Jalen Mills, he's a solid safety. Harrison Smith, as far as a backup.
Saints just signed Chase Young, so you can take him off your board for the Bills to contact.
Yeah. Justin Reed, former Chief.
Just don't sign. What was that guy's name that we victimized a couple years ago? The Chiefs safety with the blonde hair. Remember, he was getting torched by Gabe Davis.
Yeah. His 4 touchdown game or 3 touchdown game?
Yeah.
Start with an S? I don't remember.
That's Snead?
You know what I'm talking about. It was the white guy.
Yeah, it wasn't Snead.
No.
No, it wasn't Legere Snead, no. He was white.
That's white. As far as corners, I mean,
my son's
Adoree
middle name.
Jackson's available.
3 years.
Yes, kidding.
3 years,
That's a
$51
strong
million. Chase Young.
I think that's what's going to be our issue, is just trying to find the money somewhere to be able to pay some of these guys, these free agents. You're looking to fill a major hole. You're going to pay somebody top dollar.
Who's got a big contract right now? Obviously, besides the guys they just signed today, and Allen, who has a big contract?
Dawkins.
Okay, that makes sense.
Dawkins actually made a comment the other day, like before Garrett re-signed.
Yeah, he would restructure to get Garrett.
He would restructure to get him, but not saying that he wouldn't restructure anyway. I mean, most of these guys would rather restructure because they get the money now rather than waiting on it. You know? Yeah.
Spencer Brown, is he due for a contract soon?
No, didn't we just sign him? We just signed him this last year.
That's good.
This past season. He's on a 3-year deal or something like that.
O-line, I think their O-line's actually pretty well set for the next couple of years as far as like them being signed and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't want them to try and just run it back with the same defense. You know what I mean? Like,
no, they need to upgrade somewhere.
Well, the guy they brought in is a man defensive mind. So, I mean, they're going to obviously change something up.
Well, you had to play zone when it was.
There's that like defensive backs coach or something like they brought in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to play zone with the old crew, and And Douglas was his own corner too, right? Rasul.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know where he's going. I mean, I don't think he's getting re-signed.
He's not
I mean,
coming
he
back.
wants
Picked
No.
up by like a
he wants some
Carolina
big
or
money.
something like that.
I saw a report that Kyrie Elam was linked to Carolina.
Linked to a trade, yeah.
A trade there.
I haven't. I heard it was for a 5th or a 6th, but it didn't.
I thought that was fake. Yeah,
It didn't
you
come
know,
through.
so-
Well, so I think Sal Capaccio was tweeting that there was discussions, but nothing confirmed. So that's gonna bug me now. I'm gonna have to go watch 13-second highlights and stop it after that last Gabe Davis touchdown and turn off the YouTube. But to see who that guy's name is, he had the flowing blonde hair and everything.
I know exactly what he looks like. Yeah,
In my head, it's like Sagan
Scott.
or something like that.
Scott. No.
Sarbon or something. Sarbon.
I don't know.
So there's that. I guess
You
that's
guys talk
Buffalo's
for a
free
second.
agency.
I'm going to type in White Chiefs safety 2023. 2022?
22.
Final roster.
Sam Darnold sign. I don't know.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the Seahawks.
Fields?
I don't really know where he's going there. And Fields, the Jets.
To the Jets.
I don't know why he's doing.
That's-
I don't know where he's going with that. I'm interested to see what Pittsburgh does right now. I don't. DK and Pickens. I don't know why you would bring Rodgers in there. Like if they just makes
Roethlisberger
sense.
threw his name out there.
Yeah, he's coming back.
It's-
It's,
Yep.
it's going to be an ice pack the
I
entire
actually
time.
kind of think they'd run it back with Russ. I actually think they'd run it back with Russ.
I think so. He's gonna. I mean, he's played with Metcalf.
those
They're
two-
probably gonna
with
sign him.
those two
Resign him.
guys. Yeah.
Probably like a 1 or 2 year
Yeah.
deal. Draft a quarterback. Or out there.
I mean, they should. That's what they should do. They should be calling. Tennessee, trying to get to that 1 spot. Trade 3 number 1s. Let's see.
You figure it out, Adam?
Struggling.
Terrible. Josh Banks. Straight dog water.
I'm on the struggle bus. It's one of those ones where you hope his name's going to pop out. Sorensen. That's what it was. It was Sorensen. He got destroyed by the Bills in that game, and then he got beat deep by Dawson Knox on one of those Josh Allen scramble drills where Knox ended up by himself by 20 yards. And
corner,
Sorensen
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that play.
running. Anyways, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the search. For anybody who was watching this, no one. It wasn't worth the search.
Nobody.
So, early predictions for the Bills next year. Alex, what's the record? Remember, they play 17.
I'll say 14-3.
14-3. Oh, I
They
see.
got some tough opponent. You seen their opponent list?
I think they'll do it, though.
They play all the bad ones, the good ones at home,
Yeah, they do. That's true.
except one. I think there's one like real bad away game.
And,
but
and we
otherwise-
went undefeated at home this year.
Yeah, wait. There's a shot we go undefeated away this year, too.
Yeah.
and there's a shot we have a losing record at home.
I mean, for the sake of nobody watching this and whatever, I am gonna say I was gonna say 15-2.
Where you?
But I was like, that's a little too aggressive, so I was gonna go 14-3.
I got them 12-5.
That's kind of where I was thinking between 12-5 or 13-4 is kind of where I was kind of like more leaning. That's
as long as Josh
now,
manages the ball.
as it stands right now too. You know, I mean that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. You know,
Cook. That'll be the difference maker.
I mean realistically, Cook's under contract. I mean, you know, he
He'll
can hold
sit
out
out.
all he wants. Okay, I mean that because we all see how well that works for everybody. You know, with Le'Veon Bell because he looks like trash when he goes back. So
He's got his brother chirping.
So it's Steph Diggs.
yeah. So I mean.
I mean, he got hurt.
Hold out.
so
The
he
hold
can't
out
do
thing
that.
is great until it
They
doesn't
hold
work.
out.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And then you don't get paid.
All right, B Steph.
So you don't get paid.
Right. I mean, the thing with Cook is, yeah, you had 15 touchdowns. He was excellent this year. Don't get me wrong. He had 15 touchdowns. However, and he could have had more with tush push, snowplow, whatever. But he only had 1,000 yards. He just broke 1,000 by playing in week 17.
And he only played like 50% of the snaps too. So you're still, to get that kind of money and not be on the field like the majority of the time.
Like Saquon.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem fiscally responsible for the Bills.
If he had 1,500 yards, I could not say make an argument, but I'd understand it. Like, okay, I had 1,500 yards. Ty Johnson played almost all the third downs. Blah, 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 whatever. I could see it, but I don't. I don't see that number. Sign him for 4 years, 12.5 a year. So 4 years, $50 million.
Give him a lot of guaranteed money. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, it's the guaranteed money. Like, I don't know why he's so focused on the annual value. Like, you want the guaranteed amount. Like, that's the big. That's what matters more is how much you're guaranteed, type of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, because if
especially in New
you
York.
set rushing incentives and shit like that, I mean, they could hold you out one of the two to make sure you don't hit it. So, I mean, not that maybe they do, maybe they don't, but
He had
at the end of the day,
1,000
if you want to.
in his contract this year.
If he had what, 1,000 hit?
Yeah. 1,000. He got 150K for hitting 1,000.
But I mean, yeah, you can go and say that anything over that, plus then 1,500 to 2,000, whatever. But you can hold him back out of that, and I don't know. You can say you're $10 million a year, sure, but you can make up to 17 million in incentives. But
well, it's like your boy Josh Palmer.
Yeah, my boy.
Well, I'm just saying, you broke the news. That's why he's your boy. But I mean, like you said, 6 million, it's 12 million, but it's really 6.
Yeah.
And if he does what Curtis Samuel does, then it's definitely 6. Oh.
I mean, I remember him a couple years ago. Like, he was pretty solid, but if I remember correctly, he's fairly injury prone. Like, he gets injured a lot. So
he's playing on a crap team too. Team that underperforms.
He's playing the Chargers. Yeah. Always talented, but they just, like you said, underperform. So
the AFC, I feel like, is getting so much better generally year after year after year. And the NFC is like there's 2 teams. There's maybe 3 now. But there's the Eagles, the Lions, and the Niners. The Niners were trash this year, obviously, but perennially they haven't been.
I don't know. I mean, the Packers are going to be
Packers are decent.
The Packers going to be good again. The Bears will actually be pretty decent. I mean, all 4 teams in the NFC North, you could. I mean, Minnesota's a little questionable right now because you don't really know who their starting quarterback's going to be. But as far as everything else, like, they could come back too. I mean, all 4 of those teams could end up being in the playoffs next year, realistically. Because Bears have loaded back up on the offensive line, and they have a really, really good coaching staff. They made some really good coaching hires. So, I don't know. Yeah,
they'd have to have a hell of a year to get, because I assume 2 are coming out of the NFC East with Washington and
way
Philadelphia.
Way too early prediction. The Commanders are winning the NFC East.
I can see that.
Well, if they win it, and I assume Philadelphia is making it back, right?
Probably.
I would think. I could see one team out of the AFC West just being the Niners.
No, or the Rams.
The Rams? You think?
Or the Rams. Okay, the Rams, sure.
Rams will win that division again. Rams will win that division pretty handily again. Niners are losing too many pieces.
Yeah, the Niners, I don't think are going to be any good this upcoming season.
Isn't Brock's due for a contract?
Yeah, they're talking $50+ million for Brock Purdy.
That's wild. I mean,
just
sign me
$50
up.
million? Yeah, right. But
I'll throw my shoulder out Monday through Sunday.
Tampa would be solid again. Tampa would be solid again. They should win the NFC South again.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I'm missing a division here in the NFC. East, west.
The South
No,
is
I'm not. I'm
the
not.
Saints, the Falcons, the
Tampa.
Panthers.
Yeah, I was right. I got it all. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Tom
All
Brady.
right. So water park. So
Yeah. As you saw in the thumbnail, we all went to the water park Saturday with our families.
Good time.
The weather left something to be desired outside with the 30-mile-an-hour winds and the 25-mile-an-hour or 25-degree temperatures.
in the mountains, to be fair.
And mountains.
Yeah.
Fair. But the kids had a blast. I mean, my kids were talking about when we can go back and do it again. So I thought
Yeah.
they had a really good time.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's perfect for the kids.
Bexton had a great time, and we don't, the fact that it's only within an hour and a half from us. We driving home, and I was like, we should probably like talk to some of his friends, that are in class with him, and be like, hey, like we should just go here. I mean, he was loving it. He was just going up and down that slide all, almost
Yeah.
for 30.
Yeah,
30
he didn't
minutes.
hang out around the what's it called all that often. He was pretty much going the whole time.
He was going. Gone.
It was the perfect size to just be able to let like the kids go run loose and like have a good time and not have to worry too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Juice, how far are you from Philadelphia?
Born and raised.
Really? 4.5.
Oh, really?
Something
Okay.
like that.
I felt like it
Yeah.
was closer, but apparently not.
Maybe it is. I don't know. It's a good question.
Or the Poconos. How far are you from the Poconos? Probably what, 3?
I think we talked about this one time. Poconos, I think, is 3.5.
Okay. I was just curious. But yeah, so the water park itself was, when you walked in, there was a couple of cabanas that Mitch and Alex graciously rented and shared with the group.
I'll send out Venema request later. I forgot. So.
It's going to be sitting in my requested for a little while. But
It charged
so
by
that
the
was
minute.
cool. So we kind of set up base camp around them, and right in front of us was the wave pool, then the little kiddie section that had a squirt gun that would shoot like 45 feet and smoke anybody who was walking past. Not paying
Some of those,
I got headshotted looking for my
Yes.
kid because I couldn't see my kids. Wham! Right in the side of the head.
some of those kids were having a good time just hitting adults. That's all they
Yeah.
wanted to do up there.
How many people did you see walk by with like a t-shirt on still and
It's
pass
soaked. Yeah.
smacked with water? And then there's some slides that the kids went on a bunch of times. But like Alex said, it was small enough that it was easy to keep track of your kids, but large enough that they had stuff to do, which was cool.
The arcade needs some work with the prize. Getting the prizes. That thing was a pain in the
The
air.
prize
I
machine.
did get lucky with that because Bexton only wanted one prize, so I just selected it and we walked out. I was like, "Yep, let's go."
Yeah,
I
my
was like,
kid can't make a
Felicia, let's
decision.
go.
So.
I understand there's
I saw-
26 coupons left. Get off
Well,
the machine.
I saw what happened with Mitch and Alex in front of me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is gonna take forever."
Forever.
You had to wait for the thing to go
Just
all the
kept
way around.
spinning all the way around.
Yeah.
So slow.
Other than that, it was a great time, guys.
Yeah, it was a blast.
The indoor
Found
outdoor
a
pool
hair
was
in a
cool.
burger.
What's that?
Andy found a hair in a burger.
Andy, yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Trax.
Yeah.
Trax Bar and Grill. I thought the food was great. Andy got the extra hair in the burger, which got her off of that. It's probably elk hair, if you had to wonder.
That's how fresh it is.
I think it was Legarius
Oh,
Sneed
yeah.
in the back.
Probably cute.
It was. I will say those sweet potato fries were the best sweet potato fries I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
But they were disgusting.
Um,
Otherwise.
and I was going to say the awkward moment of the day for me, by the way, at the what's it called, at the water park. I go to, at the first time I went out in the outside pool with the kids. When I got done, I was like, oh, I'll swing over into the little hot tub. afterwards. Like there was like a 4-leaf clover style hot tub, right?
Yeah.
2 inside, 2 outside. And the outside's full. And I go into the inside one night. I looked and I was like, I'm not going to get in. I was like, well, whatever. I go in. I'll stand in the middle for a minute just to warm up. I turn and there is a man and a woman. The woman is sitting on the man's lap and they're reading a book together called the what was it called? The Time Starved Marriage. That's what it was called. It was like a marriage self-help book about spending time with each other, sitting on each other, sitting on his lap.
They're doing this at a water park, which is the
In the
funniest
water
shit.
park.
A kids' water park. Yeah.
Kids water park. So that was my number 1 awkward moment. Number 2 was when I said, "Oh, I forgot to bring dry underwear into the thing," and Goose is like, "Just don't wear underwear." I haven't worn underwear in years, and I was like, "All right, well, you do what you do, boo."
The old
So-
commando.
I'm actually surprised that wasn't a further conversation because I was expecting that when I said that I was like, "Ah, crap! This is gonna end well. This is gonna
Nah,
just be
I just left it. I brought it for here, but it was.
That's
So
funny.
I took your cue because I wasn't going to sit itchy-assed for the rest of the day in that car. So I wore my nylon pants, but no one looked, so I was fine. I don't know if there was anything to see after being in the pool. So- I was in the pool.
How's it pool?
So that was cool. And then we went to the hotel pool.
Oh,
that same
Jesus.
night, right?
Oh,
So, Goose, I'll tell you what. This pool, the temperature in the pool room might have been 90 degrees. It had to be close. It had to, at least 85, right, Alex?
oh yeah, yeah.
And the pool temperature, you've been in my pool in the summer when we have the heater going and all that stuff. The regular pool had to be 90 degrees or so. And the hot tub, legitimately 125 degrees. And it was air jets instead of water jets. So these things were splashing 1.5 feet out of the water. Like I was sitting with my back to the wall. The water was like chest height. And I was getting water in my ears.
That's the worst.
I couldn't hear a damn thing anybody was saying when we were in
No,
there.
I was like yelling.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then Owen,
kids-
my son ended up slicing his foot open in the hot tub. Of course, he's always getting hurt.
Yeah.
But
He gets out of the hot tub and he's like, I cut my foot. Jed's got him.
big old
Felicia like
flap of
runs
skin.
over. Alex rips the first aid kit off the wall. Felicia's got one of the white towels from the pool. She's like just soaking up blood. I will say your son was a trooper though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he didn't cry at all. But no, I mean he was a little upset, but he was
Yeah,
okay.
Considering how much blood there
Considering
was.
he was like, Dad, I took my foot out of the hot tub and there's just blood everywhere.
Oh my
I
god.
was traumatized from going in a hotel pool now.
Felicia gets him.
Jaws attacked me. There's piranhas in the hot tub. There's piranhas in the hot tub.
You get the band-aids all on, and Felicia goes, "All right, let's clean up the crime scene." She's like,
I put the towel in the return. It's just
Yeah.
fills
No.
with blood.
You should just threw in the garbage.
There was no garbage. There was just return.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So
Yeah.
that was cool. And then
That's terrible.
That was a
Threw it in the
great time.
return, bro. Oh man.
I didn't do
It's
it. That's
fine.
Felicia. She's built like that.
I work at a hotel. It's terrible.
And we went and spent $30 at the candy shop, the hotel
Pantry.
You know.
Yeah, so do we.
pantry.
Mm.
Uh,
$30 less for Disney, you guys. Come on.
That's what
Right?
Mitch
Yeah.
kept saying to me the whole trip. He goes, "There's less than Disney. It was less than Disney."
Less than Disney.
So
Shortly after, I sent him videos on Disney about pretending to be at Disney. Ways to cope. Way to get through it. Way to get through it. You know.
So we go and we ordered cookies because we were planning on like hanging out in the little lobby there and eating these insomnia cookies. So we split those and we end up going upstairs and going to bed or whatnot. But we found this. Go ahead.
Your shower didn't work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but we found out very quickly that the shower didn't work in our hotel room. So Felicia tried getting it. It's just a little pull thing on the spout, right? Just to make it go to the top. So that doesn't work. I tried. Mitchell comes over to talk at the end of the night. He tries. We're both yanking on this thing so much that you're afraid you're going to either snap off the actual spout or break the wall behind it.
Yeah.
Then they're like, we'll send somebody up. This woman might have been 65 years old.
5'4" Spanish.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'll try. Okay. She's like, no, that's stuck. No shit. Me and Mitchell have ringing down on our fingers from trying to get this thing open.
You can go shower in the pool.
Yeah. She told us go shower down in the pool.
Shout
So
out
she's like, oh, is there shampoo down there? She's like, no, you have to bring your own.
Homewood Suites by Ithaca. Shout out.
Shout out them.
Did you?
Shout
our
out
room
Jen
had like a.
Francesco for getting me 20,000 points.
Jen was good. Jen was good though.
Yeah.
Our room had like a fridge and a dishwasher and a stove to it.
Yeah.
It sounded like I've been in a hotel that had all that stuff. For,
The Homewood Suites all have those.
that was
They all have
amazing.
suite style. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we had enough room. We had the 2 queens, and then in the living room there was a pull-out bed. There was more than enough room for the kids, and we could have put we brought an air mattress. We could have put that down at any point, just didn't need to. So we try to book those if we can.
We had the king with the pull-out couch too.
Yeah, well,
King,
4.
one bedroom. Yeah, they're great rooms. Little kitchenettes there.
Yeah, when I stay for more than like 2 days, if I'm somewhere like that, I try to get either Hilton Garden Inn with the suite, which will have like the small kitchenette, or Homewood Suites. So
Yeah. My go-to is usually either DoubleTree, because
they're
they're
good.
usually a little more upscale, or
speaking of
wherever I
upscale,
get a discount at.
that's fair. Speaking of upscale, Paris Baguette.
Oh man,
On the main streets of Ithaca.
I would go back for that right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me too.
I
So
had
we went to this-
the coffee
That's good stuff.
pastry. It was like this. Oh man,
I saw
it was
Jen's
so
post.
good.
and I was like, wow, this actually looks like the pastry shop that we went to, and we were in St. Martin on the French side. Like that's what it kind of looked like. Like some of the pastries, I was like, wow, those look really good.
There was a lot of paste, different kinds. Like it wasn't like the same thing 5 ways. There was legitimately had to be at least 30 pastries, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was so awesome.
Priced way under Disney prices.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like 7 different things. It was like $32.
Yeah.
So I was.
Did you eat it all and drive home?
No, I did I ate the sausage between the pastry place and the science center. And that was actually really, really good. It didn't look super appetizing, but it was really, really good. Looked like a sad little wiener in a fold.
I contemplated getting it, and I should have because I was hungry later because I didn't eat mine in the car. But anyways, it looked pretty cool.
We got a bunch of stuff, and we ate it between yesterday and Sunday. I would, if I'm in or around Ithaca, if I'm within 35 minutes of Ithaca in the future, I will stop at that place.
Well, good to know.
It's worth
What was
it. It's
called? 'Cause
worth
I
it.
go to
Yeah, it
I go
was.
to Ithaca every now and then, so like I might
It's
have to
right
just dig it up.
downtown. You can't park in front of it. It's on one of those like closed off. Think of like downtown Buffalo, where they have a couple of those closed off streets where you can only walk. There. And luckily there was free parking because it was Sunday. But like I told these guys, Goose, I feel like that'd be a really cool spot. But I also feel like it would really congregate homeless people. Just given where it is.
Yeah.
Even with it being as cold as it was, there was a few folks kind of meandering. But the food was really good. Once I got that coffee stirred, you could tell it was a quality coffee.
Yeah.
Like a decent style of coffee. But once I got that thing stirred up, that was good too. So
Yeah, Paris Baguette. It was called Goose.
and you know what? There's like 3 other bakeries I saw after we left there to get the Science Center. But I'm glad we stopped at that one. And it was really clean inside too, which I liked. Like it was bright, clean. It's nice.
I do think we scared a guy off from going in there when like we were all standing by the door and he just walked in, like saw like
Oh yeah.
3 families with a bunch of kids and just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Just walked
not,
right out.
Not today.
I don't have time for this
That's
shit.
crap today.
There was like a ramp exiting or entering and exiting to go in, and we were all lined up on like the sides waiting for everyone to finish cashing out or whatever. I was like, it's like a Bills game running out of the tunnel. Somebody went through, and I was like, yeah. So that was cool. And then we went to the Science Center, which I will say, I was, for how like small town it was, the kids had a really good time there.
They had a great time.
Yep.
I think Baxton would have liked it a lot, Goose. It was super, super interactive and like a lot of sensory type of stuff, a lot of like building, coloring. There was a bunch of, actually, they had quite a few animals, which I was surprised about.
A good hour upstairs in the space room with like all the different like environmental stuff, which was
cool spot. And in the summer, they have this very, very, very large, like, I don't know what you call it, like an elevated playground almost. Outside, and then they have a putt course that's all included with your admission. So
funny story that Owen was doing that Mona Lisa drawing that you do in the last one, and he was like trying to do it on his own. Fief came up and she's like, "Oh, that's a really good penguin." Chad's like, "It's Mona Lisa."
I'll have to say something to her. That's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Owen said he drew a thought bubble next to the penguin that said, "Fuck you, Felicia."
Write it down.
I gave up on it, Mitch. I'm over it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Your attitude pisses me off this.
Oh, it's great.
That's a nice penguin.
I feel so relieved.
That's Mona Lisa.
I mean, in her defense, that nose that he drew was
was it a beak?
It was just a triangle. It looked like a beak, yeah.
Do you see any nose holes on there?
Felicia just has to know. And with 4 kids, she should know this. You just go, "Oh, that's really nice."
Yeah.
You don't specify.
Hey, great job, dude. That looks awesome.
Yeah. So I think we talked about going to the Museum of Play afterwards. We got in the car for half an hour, and I was like, "No,
done."
Yeah.
Done.
No, but none of them fell asleep on the car ride home.
Me neither, mine.
That's not. Yeah, mine didn't either.
But then they were miserable.
Well, James was miserable. We were home for like 2.5 hours. Then we had to run to Sam's Club to get apples, bananas, cucumbers, like, some staple stuff. And James fell asleep 3 minutes into that car ride. So then Felicia's like, "Well, I need to run to the dollar store. Can you watch him in the car?" I'm like, without a question. So then I sat in the car while they did the dollar store. And then I carried him around Sam's Club for 40 minutes. He didn't wake up until I put him back in his seat. And he was like, "When are we going to the store?" Addison's like, "You already went." He's like, "Oh, I wanted a toy." Just like that. Like that voice. He's like, "Oh, I wanted a toy." So,
Em had a meltdown as soon as we got in the car to leave. Complete meltdown for like a good 5-10 minutes of the ride. And finally she just settled down and just stared out the window for like 20 minutes. Then got her iPad for the last 40. And
there you go. Oh, that's right. You guys are 40 minutes away. Yeah.
Oh no, we're an hour away, but hour and 15 minutes. But
gotcha.
Yeah, she's pretty miserable the rest of the night.
Yeah.
All in all, though, I think all the kids were great for the whole Saturday. They were all excellent.
Just exhausted. Just doesn't want to leave hotel rooms. Doesn't want any friends. So
yeah. So we're gonna book another one.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna take a Friday off of work. We're gonna check into the Great Wolf Lodge in Ontario, Canada. We're gonna check in Thursday night. That gives you water park Thursday night, and from 4 p.m. on, and all day Friday. And it's whatever price you see is the Canadian price on the website.
And it includes admission for the hotel stay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pending tariffs. And
last I looked, I looked for a week or a Friday in, I was on to say the first week of May, second week of May, I don't remember. It was like for us, now we have 6 people, so yours guys would all be cheaper. But it was $633 Canadian, which would be about $450, $75 American.
I paid $350 for freaking this one.
Right.
4 tickets in a cabana.
And this place it's bigger. I will happily buy a cabana next time, and someone can share with me as well. I don't mind.
Well, I was just saying is like it's not that much more expensive, and you get the whole
And you
thing
get
the
the
whole
hotel.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the hotels are different. I mean, Goose, have you been to a Great Wolf or no? I know Alex has, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never
Those
have.
cabanas there are expensive though. Those
They're like
aren't
125.
cheap. In the Great Wolf,
150.
why did I think they were more than that? Or maybe
I might be wrong. I it's one of those things. Not to sound like I'm bougie or whatever, but I started doing it in Disney, and now there's like no other way.
Yeah,
Like,
same. I can't do it without it.
I don't
want
love
to fight over the chairs.
Yeah, the sprinting for the chairs, and even as it was now, granted, we weren't sitting there. Like our stuff was over there, but we weren't sitting there. All our stuff got,
Push to the corner.
taken away and
Yeah.
moved into the corner. And then had Mitchell or Goose not pulled that curtain shut on the side of the gazebo there, those people were creeping under.
Yeah, she kept moving this stuff. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Wait, she was moving like our stuff to like get more space.
Yeah, she was like pushing their chairs, and they brought chairs in from other tables. They took over a table from somebody else who had their stuff there. Like 5
No
minutes before
shit.
that. Yeah, 10 minutes before that, they put their stuff down on the chairs, and a couple towels on the tables and a shirt. And these Asian people came over and took it all. And then they were all stuffed, grabbed all their stuff, and went to the other side.
It's been those Canadians,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I just don't. And if you guys ever do it in Disney, you go to Blizzard Beach or Typhoon and get one. They have the attendance at Great Wolf and Kalahari too, but the Disney one is just a whole nother experience. It's nuts. It's really really cool. But we'll do Great Wolf sometime here in the spring, I think, and it won't. Hopefully, finances work out for everybody, and we can find a date because I think that'll be a good time. The hotels are like super themed, like log cabin type of situations, and they have fireplaces, and some of them
They got
have
a lot of
second
stuff
floors.
for kids to just stuff to do out there.
Yeah,
Different
do
events and that.
like science experiments and
Yeah.
sing-alongs, and they have the characters that's Chuck E. Cheese style sing. The arcade
they're
is
themed.
much better,
Oh yeah.
so it'll be fun.
Cool.
So,
But Disney in 2 weeks, yeah.
what's that?
Disney in
Oh
2
yeah,
weeks,
for sure,
yeah?
for sure. Yeah, we're on our way.
Oh, so I didn't say this earlier. I got quite a talking to. Quite a talking to as we left the water park to drive to the hotel that night. It wasn't. You ever seen Inglorious Bastards, where they're like, "You'll get shot for this," and he's like, "I'll get chewed out. I've been chewed out before." Like that's kind of how I felt like Brad Pitt in that scene after he shoots the second POW. Like I thought we said we weren't going to do this. And you put me on the spot, and I didn't appreciate that. And I'm like, okay.
Because if you were on board, I was sure as hell finding a way to do it. So,
Well, Goose had already looked up flights for me.
yeah,
Goose did the hard part. He was like,
I already looked at my
$1,500
flights.
round trip.
Yeah.
Stop being a pussy. And I'm like, I should stop being a pussy.
I got the
But I
hotel
couldn't. I
rates.
couldn't stop being a pussy.
Well, she really thought about it though when it was $110 a night for 2
Mhm.
rooms. Like,
She did. She was
Stuff.
sitting in the car, and she's like, "Look, it's $1,500 for flights. You're gonna want early bird. That's $250 more each way. That's $22,000." I go, fair. Okay.
Not bougie, but I need early bird.
I
too.
need early bird, whatever.
You know?
And then she's like, "Mitchell can get us $100 rooms." I said, "He said he can." I said, "That's 2 rooms for $100. So it's like $125 with parking." He said. She's like, "Okay, times how long?" I was like, 6 nights. She's like, "That's $1,000. I was like, "All right, so we're at $3,000. She's like, "And we haven't even stepped foot in the park or had a bite to eat yet." She's like, "It's going to be $5,000, Adam, maybe 6." And I was like, "Yeah," and I'll get rid of the basement pond, and I'll get rid of the elevated garden in the back, and I'll get rid of. And I was like naming shit that I've been planning on for a year. I was like, "I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of that." And she's like, I don't want to go down there and worry about if I want something for the kids, I can buy it or not. I'm like, oh, you can buy it. It's just something else comes off the list.
All right.
You can buy it. She's like, no. She's like, I don't really ever tell you no, but this is a no. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I guess our love knows bounds. It doesn't know no bounds.
You guys are just getting more responsible. That's all it is, you know?
It's just
Get
work.
more
No,
fiscally
I'm joking.
responsible.
Don't.
Fiscally responsible.
If she would just work harder, Goose. Get a fucking job. No, not at all, by the way.
She's gonna come flying through the.
I swear to God, I'm joking.
This one just spears you, Goldberg.
No, you see me take a dart to the neck. It's like, who's you gonna blow dart gun?
Good stuff.
Yeah, so I'd love to do Disney. I really would love to do Disney, but now my list is similar to Mitchell's vacation list, where it became this day we're cleaning the garage, this day we're cleaning this room, this day and with my bonus money, the girls are all getting new beds and new mattresses, so that's putting together beds and it's rearranging, painting rooms and all that kind of crap too. So,
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
like, do my kids need beds? Or do they need to go to Disney for 5 minutes? You know, like,
I mean, that's a good
You
argument.
need to go
I
to
think
people don't
that's-
prioritize.
You never sleep so good in your life as when you do when you're at Disney World after freaking walking 12 miles.
I was
around
gonna
the
say,
world.
13 I go to sleep, man.
Yeah. This is the best damn sleep of my life.
I fell asleep at the water park. I went in the pool for 18 total minutes. I fell asleep that night at 9:30. I didn't even go on my phone.
It's wonderful.
I will. The one complaint I had, besides the no shower, was the sun coming through the windows.
Oh yeah, mine didn't close all the way.
The blinds did not work well, and I was like, it was 6:30 in the morning, and it was bright as noon in my room. I took Felicia's pillow and I stuck it over my whole head. It's like, it needs to be darker.
Well, in the bathroom
funny-
had a little flashlight, or sorry, nightlight on the
No, go
plug too, so that kept the whole half of the room lit up.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so
Ariana
funny
went to the
story.
bathroom and left the light on too, and left the door halfway open.
Nice.
Blinding light.
So funny story on my Sunday. So obviously yesterday I was flying to Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado. And so I sat my flight was at 6:15 and out of Albany. So, you know, an hour and a half drive to Albany. Try to get there at 4:45 or so. So got to leave around like 3:15, right? So set my alarm for 2. Alarm goes off at 2. And I look at my phone and I'm like, why does it say 3 o'clock?
Oh, leap
Oh.
forward.
Oh, you forgot, bro.
Oh man.
That was annoying. Now, hindsight, I mean, I still made it and everything, but that was just agitating because I couldn't take my time and go shower, cold plunge, all that sort of stuff. So I was like, literally, like, I woke up and I had to pretty much out the door in 10 minutes. So that was
That sucks.
agitating. That was, yeah.
That sets the whole day
That's
off.
how my
Yeah.
that's how my Sunday started. Yes,
But luckily, once you get on the plane, like it's a fresh reset though. Like your day's reset. You have nothing else to worry about, and you're just the rest of the day.
Yeah, in hindsight, I mean, the flight to Denver, there was nobody in my row. So, like, I was by myself. And then my flight from Denver to Montrose, Colorado, also nobody in my row. So,
Nice.
that's
Hey, good thing about waking up late for you, though, you don't have to worry about putting on and finding clean underwear.
Man. Just throw those pants on. You're good to go.
Plane farts might go right through your pants, though. You got to be careful with stuff like that. Plane farts are dangerous, game.
Bacon, egg, and cheese from the Quickie Mart that early.
The Quickie Mart. The Simpsons. When's the last time you watched a Simpsons episode?
The other day, I watched it quite a bit.
That's crazy. Quickie Mart. Jesus.
Simpsons knows the future.
I think they retired a
convinced.
poo years ago because of the accent. Shit.
Anyways,
Oh, all right. We did have movies. I'll be
It's
honest
been
with
so
you.
long.
It's been so long. Almost Famous was good. I'll give it a
I
7
was gonna
7.
say,
I was gonna say
that
about
was
it.
good.
7, 6, 7, 7. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna go probably like a 7, 7.5. Let's go. We'll go 7.5. Keep it ready.
What would you give Almost Famous, Alex?
7, 8.
That's on the
I like
board.
that. Yeah.
I'm not updating it, but it's on the board.
So I got next. Are we doing 2 movies or one? Just one?
No, do one. We'll do it in 2 weeks.
All right. I'm gonna go with the movie Jack with Robin Williams.
Oh, that's
A little bit of
Some
Benjamin
mid-
Button syndrome.
Or-
taking it back.
Yeah, or not
So-
Benjamin Button, but yeah, we
Yeah,
grow so
we're-
fast.
Reverse Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
So
So-
okay, yeah, that's a good movie.
2.
I thought you were gonna go. No, let's do one. We're gonna be on in 2 weeks.
50-50. Cool Runnings or Jack?
I thought you were gonna go Simple Jack.
Oh, Simple Jack. You never go full. You never go. I don't know. Radio did.
Oh my goodness!
I haven't seen it in a movie since.
Anyways, all right. Thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.